starting with les mots de révision. Okay, les mots de révision, where do we put these words? Where do these words go? Where are we going to put them? Dictionary, but more specifically, what part of our dictionary? Cornell Notes. Okay, these are going to go on a Cornell Notes page. You can just continue them, start them after chapitre 5. Go ahead and at left margin write chapitre 6. Écrivez le mot en français et en anglais. Écrivez en français et en anglais. So as we encounter them in the reading, we can say, oh yeah, I remember that from last year. I know the meaning of it. We have two sets of vocab that we'll work with. Our review ones, which are ones we've already had, and then our new vocab, which we'll spend a little bit more time on. Okay, but all of these are meant to help your reading process be much easier. So right now you have en français and en anglais. Avec votre partenaire des épaules, with your shoulder partner, partner A, read numéro 1 en français and en anglais. B, numéro 2, and rally back and forth comparing your answers. Ready? Allez! Alright, next we have our nouveau mot de vocabulaire. With our nouveau mot de vocabulaire, these get a little extra attention because these are words we've not had yet, but that are going to appear in this chapter, that as you see them, I want you to say, oh yeah, it's this one. Okay, I know what that means. I know what this one means, and think of your motion. Okay, so right now, pens and pencils down, papers aside. You're not going to write anything yet. We'll practice with them first and then write them in. Okay? The first word is un copain and une copine. Un copain est un garçon and une copine pour une fille. Un copain, un garçon, une copine pour une fille. Un copain et une copine est un synonyme pour un ami. Un ami. Qu'est-ce que c'est un ami? A friend. Un copain, une copine. Bien, ça c'est la même chose qu'une amie. Qu'est-ce que c'est un copain et une copine? It's masculine and feminine. We have a different form, so instead of saying mon ami, we have un copain, une copine, a masculine form and a feminine form of it for friend. It also typically might be used as more a boyfriend, girlfriend. Sometimes just as a friend, but sometimes boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay, so the motion we're going to use is un copain and une copine, because un copain is a boy who's a friend, une copine a girl who's a friend. And these are the words we would use long ago for un garçon and une fille, right? Yeah. Go ahead and give you your pre-reading question before we jump into chapitre 6. And you're going to answer this question just right at the bottom of your picture dictionary page. Okay, you get to do this one in English. This is just to get us thinking about some of the things that might be taking place in this chapter. Okay? So, describe a cultural difference between the United States and another country. What's a cultural difference? A cultural difference might be, for example, in regard to a tradition that another country has. It could be something related to food. It could be related to holidays. So, thinking of your knowledge of other cultures and of that in the United States, what's the difference between the two? So take a moment and look at chapter 6 and look at some of the text features. What are some of the things that you observe in regard to the text features of chapter 6?
There's more dialogue.
There's more dialogue. And what is the dialogue denoted by? How can we tell it's dialogue? By the dash in front of it, okay? So either we're going to have the French quotation marks that look like this, or in this instance, I see a lot of the dashes, and that indicates that it's dialogue, okay? Any other things that we observed within this chapter? Yes?
There's a lot of questions.
A lot of questions, okay? Yeah, I see lots of question marks, so that means we have a dialogue and questions, so probably a lot of questions and answers between people, characters within our book. Next, I want to go ahead and chunk the chapter. It has 3 chunks to it. okay, or sections as they often refer to them as too. So we're going to very quickly go through and section this off. Chapter 6, okay, section 1 is all of page 24. So section 1, all of page 24. It continues on to page 25, or sorry, 26. I'm off of page, sorry. So we're on, so 25, and then we're going to go on to page 26, the first 2 paragraphs, and then that's where section 1 will end. So section 1 is all of page 25, the first 2 paragraphs on page 26. What I need you to do as we're reading, Andre?
Circle words you don't know.
Okay, circle words that you don't know. Okay, what else?
What this is about.
Okay, yes, and
Underline some.
we're going to do that on step 2. You're right, you're good. We're going to underline supporting details when we get to step 2. Okay, so on our first read, we're simply circling words we don't know. What if there's something you don't understand? What should you do? Put a question mark by it. Okay, and then after we do the reading of that particular section, as Tracy just said, we're going to write our about statement, and this will go on our T chart. So we need to also have our T charts out so that we're ready to go with that. It'll go on the learning side of our T chart. So here's the steps. Circling our unknown words, question mark sentence or paragraph that you don't know or understand, and then after we've read section 1 together, you'll write your about statement. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off. We're all at the top of page 25 for the start of chapitre 6. Okay? All right, un soir, il y a une fête en ville. Brigitte et Anne vont à la fête. Il y a beaucoup de gens. Un garçon regarde Anne. Il eut un moment. End of our section 1. Merci. Excellent, bon travail. All right, so right now we are going to go to our T chart. Okay, and on the left-hand side, we have our learning column. I want you to go ahead and write what this section is about. What we're going to do is our second reading, and our second reading we do by ourselves. And what do we do on our second reading? What do I need you to do with this part? Highlight, okay. Underline. We want to underline. And what are we underlining?
Detail.
Details. Okay, details that support what?
About.
Your about statement, okay? And then we're going to reflect, and our reflection is going to be, what types of things could we use for a reflection? Raise your hand. What types of things could we use? Yes. Questions that you still have?
Predictions.
Predictions that you might have. Connections that you have to this particular part of the story. Like Kevin's like, I really am an expert in dancing. Okay, so I'm going to put that. I'm super. All right, so for our reading number 2, we are going to read your about statement first. Go back, look at that about statement. You'll underline details within section 1 that support it, and then you'll write your reflection, which we discussed what that piece is. So your reflection.